Quick recap of today's session. Essentially, we came into the day looking to see whether or not sellers could continue to push prices below this area of daily support. If we take a look at the daily here, recent October lows in this 42.35 area, that also happens to be the daily volume point of control. So essentially we came into the sesh wanting to kind of assess buyers' appetite, whether or not they were going to attempt to defend this key area of support. As a reminder, these are the early October lows. Marked a low on October 4th. This was the NFP day. Pretty much held that support area. Friday session closed right into that zone. So Sunday night we gap up. Overnight action kind of resolves lower. You have a break of the 42.35. Coming into the actual open, if we take a look at the intraday chart, you do initially have a test of that 42.35 right there. That provided a great short opportunity to essentially ride it into the 42.20, depending on how you like to hold and manage positions. This was our first downside level of interest. A little bit of a bid there, a little bit of interest. You can see this green bar. You can see the tails on these bars here. Ultimately resolves lower and you get a real test of the overnight low. Undercut the overnight low there, and essentially that marked the low for the session. Some pretty aggressive buyers come in following that low. You could see volume backing it up as well. You have a test into VWAP here, phenomenal 2-hour trader entry there. And then pretty much just continued buying up into the 42.85 level of interest, a few points shy of what we were looking for on the upside target there, 42.85. Session high was 42.80.75. So not quite there, but we call that close enough after nailing almost a 70-point move here. So the question becomes, what is next? What are we looking at for Tuesday after that kind of recap of today's action? Well, I was looking at a potential daily hammer for today. Did not materialize. For that hammer, we would have needed a close up near session highs, up near 42.70 area. Once again, did not materialize. We're still trading down into this 42.50, 42.35 area. So tomorrow the watch is going to be pretty similar to what we did today, essentially just using that same daily pivot at 42.35 and kind of assessing whether or not buyers can show any type of follow through from this morning's rally. That's pretty much it. We're right here back into that zone. And so essentially tomorrow, just want to see, are buyers continuing to step in versus this 42.35 area, or was this more of a short covering rally, right? Because if you're short from this distribution up here, where's your first target? Well, obviously it is going to be the structure right through here. And so it should be a pretty straightforward day tomorrow as far as the index is concerned, depending on whether or not we have any erratic overnight moves. So that's ES 42.35 main watch, still working that daily pivot. For individual names, we have COIN. Likely we'll be treating this as a second day. It did show good strength today up through the trigger level into PT1. Looking for that continuation move out of this kind of tight range, right? So we'll be treating that as a second day. Like to see strength above 78 for tomorrow in COIN. Also have Netflix. Continuing to monitor this one. Another inside day today. That 400 level continues to treat us nicely, closing on session highs. Obviously, once again, a big divergence from what the index is showing. Relative strength is what we call that. And so just looking for potential continuation up through this 410 area. This is an inside day. The pattern remains bullish, at least in the near term. So we'll see if it breaks to the upside or not. That's Netflix, stays on the watch as a carryover. You have NVDA on there as well. Tested daily support today. 410. See all the support through here. So we're just looking for a potential move up through 432. Near term structure. Daily gap right there. up into 438, 445, 447 area. So that's a technical setup, not in play. Main watch again is going to be the index. Index has been massively in play the past couple of weeks. You can see the volume here on ES, just big volume, trading near key levels, showing expansion moves, showing two-way trading, showing big volatility. So a lot of opportunity in the index lately. Continuing to see more opportunity in the index than individual names, and that's even during earnings season. So see how that pans out. Once again for ES, looking at 42.35, kind of this blue zone. Same blue zone we had on watch this morning. If I zoom out here. So near-term structure, if we talk about this for a moment, 4 days lower, right? 5 days lower, but take a look at the structure here. You have a high up here, right? Lower high, lower high. Is today's high just another lower high? And we're going to make some fresh lows? That's what the structure says. We'll have to see how this 42.35 develops. Maybe a higher low develops here. But like I said this morning in the pre-market live stream, this is a seller's tape clearly. Before we start leaning, more bullish, we need to see some sustained action above that 4,300 level. So that is pretty much the watch for tomorrow. Any questions? How we feeling? All good? All goody? Sweet. All right, guys. Hope you had a great day. Some phenomenal action today. Looks like most of us were done early, which is always nice. Benny, let's take a look at NQ. Probably the same. See the daily here. Yeah. 14,600 is kind of your big level here still. Right now, this looks like potentially a Wyckoff spring, right? Little blip below, grab that liquidity. Because imagine if you have 2 weeks of consolidation here, then the buying. Like imagine how many stops are under here. It's going to be a bunch. So all of those orders just got grabbed. Now, the job for buyers is to show continuation of what was a brief relief rally today, right? So you need it up through 14,852, ideally, for that Wyckoff spring to really materialize. So we'll see. Location says, at least to me, don't keep a bias. And the reason I say that is because, well, remember, I like to see price above 4,300 for buyers to really show they're regaining control, but we are above that key daily pivot, 43.35. So location's a bit tricky. Ideally, we're trading, away from this pivot, and that'll kind of give us some more obvious plays, for lack of a better term there. We like that easy money. We like the obvious trades. So, all righty, that's the list. I will see you guys tomorrow morning for the pre-market live stream. Have a good evening. Take care.